Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Am I the A-hole? This one's from user feels like not my issue. Am I the a-hole for not punishing my daughter for marking her cousin? My wife and her younger sister are best friends. As a result, when our middle daughter and her cousin were born around the same age, my wife really expected them to also be best friends. With 16 years of hindsight, I can say with certainty that that expectation was misplaced. Nothing happened in particular. My daughter just doesn't like her cousin. My wife keeps pushing the relationship. This includes making my daughter spend time with her cousin during family gatherings, inviting her cousin on trips, forcing my daughter to call her. We're pretty sure I'm the favorite parent, a fact that keeps my ego well inflated. And therefore, my apathy towards the situation is not well received by my wife. From my perspective, this isn't important, and I do not possess the ability to make two teenagers become friends. I'm also pretty sure that trying to push this kind of knuckle-headed stuff makes kids not want to speak to you. This is where I'm probably an a-hole. Yesterday, my wife forced my daughter to video call her cousin. My daughter rejected the request, and my wife told her, unless you have a valid reason for disliking your cousin, you will do this because we're family. The call occurred. This morning, we woke up to a PowerPoint presentation titled Valid Reasons to Dislike the Cousin. Using clips from the Zoom call, segments include why is cousin's voice so grating, a music theory approach, a case study, conversations that provide no value, rethinking the idea that there are no dumb questions. With the benefit of a couple of hours of hindsight, it was a very cruel takedown of her cousin's entire personality. My wife was furious. My eldest daughter and I lost our crap laughing. My wife is demanding I support her in punishing my daughter for bullying her cousin. I have refused because I feel this whole situation wouldn't have occurred if she didn't push the relationship. But I'm starting to have second thoughts because it was very mean. Am I the a-hole? The judgment is not the a-hole. Now let's take a look at the top comments. River Redhead says, not the a-hole. Your wife is the a-hole for forcing a 16-year-old to spend time with someone she doesn't like. The 16-year-old's response to your wife, she didn't tell the cousin this, I presume, is as hilarious as it is the fault of the adults forcing their relationship. I'm also not convinced that the cousin is down with this either, considering that the daughter is so clearly unhappy with spending time with her. OP comments, I'd also just like to say I feel incredibly bad about laughing. She just started with a music theory lecture about some special discordant chord. Then she had a video of the chord that immediately went into a Zoom clip of her cousin producing the same notes. I just couldn't hold it in. Miss Kimoon says to this, tell her I'm impressed and like her more. There is only one thing you need to do. Delete that PowerPoint and never tell. Think of it as a family secret. Metalesfk says, not the a-hole. Unless your daughter sent this presentation to her cousin or shared it with anybody else, it isn't bullying. What is she to be punished for? Doing what your wife asked and gave reasons for why she dislikes her cousin? Having no chemistry or a dislike for another person and not wanting to spend her time on that person? For having an opinion that differs from her mother's? Talk to your daughter and make sure her presentation is deleted, as it would be terrible should others get their hands on it. Your daughter is almost an adult, and your wife is pushing her away with her demands. By the way, your daughter sounds wonderful, your wife not so much. Okay, so me personally, I'm kinda torn between not the a-hole and everybody sucks here, so here are my reasons. So let's begin with your wife. I say your wife is the a-hole in this situation, or is one of the a-holes in this situation, because she's trying to force a relationship between two people that are almost adults that clearly have no chemistry between each other. Maybe the cousin likes OP's daughter, but OP's daughter doesn't, so you can't force a one-sided relationship. That just won't work. Then is your daughter's response to your wife's challenge. Even though it must have been hilarious to see that presentation, it wasn't nice. Now, she was responding to a challenge your wife posed, but she could have done it in a better way, you know? You don't destroy somebody's character to form an argument. Arguments are won by facts. Your daughter could have easily made that presentation with facts without tearing down her cousin's personality or mocking her for who she is. Again, I am not denying that it might have been incredibly funny what she did with the presentation and all that stuff, but it was mean-spirited and she could have done it in a nicer way to get out of talking with her. And then UOP, just like I said before, it might have been incredibly funny what your daughter did, but it was still mean-spirited. And you say that you feel incredibly bad about laughing, but did you say anything to your daughter? Did you tell her that even though funny, it was wrong for her to do this? If you didn't, then you wouldn't be acting out as a parent, because this is the kind of stuff you guide your daughter or your son into not doing, mocking others to prove a point. That is no way to win an argument. But of course, that's just my opinion. In any case, usually now we would go for a proper update, right? Well, in this case, we do have somewhat of an update, but it's actually the other side of the coin. We're going to read a post from OP's sister-in-law, the mother of the cousin that OP's daughter mocked. This one's from user throwaway knees probs. My daughter, 15 female, was shown a hurtful video made by her cousin, 16 female. I have a really good relationship with my sister and thought our families got along pretty well. My daughter is a little socially awkward and always looked forward to visiting with her cousins because they're around her age. It wasn't that frequent of a thing, just calls on birthdays, holiday visits, and the occasional family trip to the beach. With the health crisis, we haven't been able to do family trips, so instead we've started trying to stay in touch via family Zoom video chats instead. A week or so ago, we did a call just to check in and say hi. My daughter was happy to see her aunt and her cousins. She had mentioned that the cousin closest to her age had been acting weird, but we figured it was just lockdown-related stress and let it go. We decided to stop by to drop off their Christmas gifts the other day and stayed on the porch, for safety reasons because of the lockdown. My brother-in-law answered. I'm pretty sure he's never liked me, but that's probably irrelevant, and told me to just wait there while he got my sister to deal with us. While he was gone, their oldest daughter came to the door with a smirk on her face and asked how we were doing. We had some idle chatter, then she mentioned something about how if we had a gift for her sister, the middle daughter, 16 female from the title, we should probably just give it to her instead, or take it back. I asked why, and she whipped out her tablet and showed me a recording of a presentation where middle cousin had recorded clips from the Zoom call with my daughter and spent the entire time mocking her. I won't get into specifics, but it was incredibly hurtful, and my daughter started crying and walked away to sit in the car before the video presentation was even finished. I was so shocked I didn't know what to say. By the time my sister came to the door, I was in tears myself. My sister saw her eldest with the tablet and seemed to immediately know what had happened and asked her to go back inside. My sister looked at me and told me she was sorry, but all I could do was shake my head and gather the gifts to leave. I spent the evening with my daughter trying to cheer her up, but I don't think this is the type of thing she's going to get over quickly. I get that she's not as outgoing as her cousins, and that they just had a familial relationship instead of being outright friends, but she did at least think her cousins loved her as family. She and I are both crushed to find out we were wrong on that assumption. I'm at a loss here. First of all, I'm not sure what I can say or do to ever repair the relationship between my daughter and her cousins. I'm not even sure I want to try. Secondly, I'm not sure how I can ever be in the same room with my sister's children knowing this has happened. This feels like an enormous rift in our relationship that I am not sure how to bridge. My sister has left a couple of tearful voicemails, and I do truly believe she feels remorse. But I haven't heard a thing from any of the others in the family. If you all were in my situation, what would you do to repair the relationship? Well, I'm gonna say that gives us a little bit more perspective, but before I give any commentary, let's go take a look at the community comments to see what this post got as advice. Che Bridgman says, I think you need to have a conversation with your sister, that she knew about it and didn't destroy it, the kid isn't being punished. This is mean girl crap that gets kids kicked out of school these days. She may want to address it, complete with an apology. And your daughter doesn't have to forgive or get over it. But this kind of mean girl crap happened before the extra tech and it won't stop. Good heavens, I'm sorry. OP responds, "Thank you. I think I really do need to sit down and have a long conversation with my sister. I'm just not ready yet. I hope she understands that. And you're right. I think I may just tell my daughter that someday she may want or be able to forgive her cousin, but she doesn't have to right now, and maybe we can skip out on the family gatherings next year." Turbo Werbo says, "Scandalous! Correct me if I'm wrong, but this was posted in AITA by the opposing party. Here's the link." OP responds, "Well, that's just great. I guess my hunch about my brother-in-law was right. Not only did he condone it, but he found it hilarious enough to share it with strangers because he didn't think he was an a-hole for it? I don't even know what to say. I'd need time to process this." Girl in red costume says, "I'd drop them like a hot potato. One cousin made the hurtful presentation. The other was mean enough to make you two watch, not giving a damn about your tears and hurt. And your brother-in-law thought it was funny and laughed it off. What are those people?" And there you go. Now you have both sides of the story. So we should consider that maybe both sides are a little bit biased and the truth is somewhere in the middle? Or is the original OP from the a-hole post in the right? Or is the other OP, the one from the second post, in the right? What do you guys think? I'm gonna abstain from this one because I already gave my overall commentary in the first post, but I'd really like to know what you guys think about this thing. So let me know in the comment section. And that's it for this video. I truly hope you liked it. If you did, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you feel like chatting with others from this community, you can always join my Discord server and check out my subreddit. I'll leave links in the description. And having said all that, I will see you guys in the next video.